Hello, fellow book lovers. Welcome to Audiobook Odyssey, your gateway to timeless stories and transformative reads. Today, we're exploring the powerful insights of one of the most influential self-help books of our time, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. So, let's get started. Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins is a brutally honest and deeply inspiring memoir that tells the extraordinary story of a man who turned pain into power and weakness into strength. Born into a life filled with trauma, racism, abuse, and poverty, Goggins' early years were defined by suffering. As a child, he lived in constant fear of his abusive father and struggled with learning disabilities and a stutter. He grew up feeling like an outcast, both at home and in school, battling insecurity, low self-esteem, and obesity. But Goggins refused to be a victim of his circumstances. Through sheer willpower, relentless discipline, and mental toughness, he reshaped his identity and became one of the world's most elite endurance athletes and military personnel. The book is not just a tale of physical accomplishments, it's a blueprint for mastering your mind. Goggins introduces us to the concept of the calloused mind. Just as the body builds resistance through physical calluses, the mind too can be hardened through repeated exposure to difficulty. Goggins believes that most people operate at only 40% of their potential, and that the remaining 60% is locked behind mental barriers we build ourselves. To unlock this potential, he urges readers to seek out discomfort rather than avoid it, to voluntarily do the hard things in life, and to embrace pain as a teacher. One of the pivotal turning points in his life was his decision to become a Navy SEAL. At nearly 300 pounds and working as a pest exterminator, he heard a commercial for Navy SEALs on TV. That moment changed everything. He realized he had been living a lie, pretending to be tough while avoiding real challenges. Determined to change, Goggins lost over 100 pounds in just 3 months and qualified for SEAL training, enduring and surviving Hell Week, a physically and mentally brutal part of SEAL training, not once but 3 times due to injuries. His grit and refusal to quit, even when his body was broken, showcased the power of a disciplined mind. Throughout the book, Goggins shares not only his triumphs but also his failures. He recounts times when he gave up, when fear and pain got the best of him. But instead of hiding these moments, he uses them as examples of accountability. One of his key lessons is the accountability mirror, the practice of looking yourself in the eye every day and being honest about your flaws. He would post notes on his mirror, pointing out what he needed to fix, from being overweight to poor self-discipline. This daily ritual of self-honesty kept him focused on improvement. In addition to his military accomplishments, Goggins became an ultra-endurance athlete, completing some of the most punishing races on Earth, including the Badwater 135, a 135-mile race through Death Valley, and multiple Ironman triathlons. Often racing on fractured bones, with internal injuries, or after throwing up blood, he pushed past the physical limits of his body using mental strength. He talks about entering the cookie jar, a metaphorical place where he stores memories of past successes and moments of grit. When things get tough, he reaches into this jar to remind himself of what he's already overcome. Another powerful idea Goggins presents is the taking souls concept. It's about outworking and outlasting others, especially when they doubt you. During Hell Week, Goggins would intentionally smile and perform with extra energy when instructors were trying to break the trainees. His goal wasn't to compete with others, but to show that his willpower couldn't be touched. By taking control of his mind, he took away his opponent's power. The book is structured with challenges at the end of each chapter. These aren't just exercises for the body, but for the mind. Goggins invites readers to step into discomfort, whether by writing down their fears, confronting trauma, or pushing themselves physically. He believes that only through adversity can we discover who we truly are. Can't Hurt Me isn't filled with fluff or motivational quotes, it's raw, sometimes brutal, and always authentic. Goggins doesn't sugarcoat his pain or his past. He talks about racism he endured, the nights he cried himself to sleep, and the physical breakdowns he experienced. But he never uses those experiences as excuses. Instead, he uses them as fuel. Ultimately, this book is a message to anyone feeling stuck, broken, or defeated. Goggins shows that we all have an inner savage, a stronger version of ourselves, that's waiting to be awakened. But to find it, we have to confront our pain, challenge our fears, and never settle for mediocrity. Pain, he says, is the pathway to growth. Suffering is a tool. And the mind is the strongest weapon we have. In the final chapters, Goggins reflects on how far he's come, not to boast, but to show that transformation is possible. He was once a scared, overweight boy with no direction. But by taking full ownership of his life and never backing down, he became a symbol of resilience and unbreakable will. His story is proof that even the most broken people can build the strongest minds. Can't Hurt Me is more than a memoir. It's a mental training manual, a wake-up call, and a powerful reminder that we are capable of far more than we think. Whether you're facing physical challenges, emotional scars, or just want to be better, this book dares you to dig deep, suffer voluntarily, and rise above. Because in the end, the truth is simple: you can't hurt someone who has mastered their mind. Thanks for listening. If this summary inspired you, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Audiobook Odyssey for more life-changing book insights.